Hey guys, welcome back to Tactical 336. I'm Corey. Today we're going to do a cleaning breakdown of my PSA Saber. For safety purposes, this gun is clear. The chamber is also clear. I want to rack it. Clear. So first, to break the rifle down, we're going to push out our takedown pins. R1 is located right beside the safety selector, and the next one is diagonal from the exit of where the rounds come out. Push those out and pull it as far as it goes. If you just want to take down the rifle one part, the backside will fold down like that. And if you want to take it fully apart, you can pull the second one out and you can take the whole rifle apart. So we're going to set that to the side. We're going to set this to the side. So the next part will be to take out the bolt carrier group and the charging handle. So you want to release the charging handle from the grip, and the bolt carrier group will automatically come out right there. Take that out. So we're all done with the upper. So now we have taken out our charging handle and our bolt carrier group. So you might need a pair of gloves with this part as we take down the bolt carrier group. So you have a retention pin on the side. That's where we're going to start. I'm using a little flosser pick to easily get that out right there. Make sure you don't lose any of these parts, because you have to put it back together in order for it to work properly. So we're going to flip it upside down. We're going to tap out the firing pin. Should fall out like that. The retaining pin holds that in place. Next, you have the cam key. So in order to take the cam key out, you have to turn it 180 degrees. So we're going to do like so. You're going to push the bolt assembly back inside, and we're going to just gently try to pull that out like so. And the assembly should come out properly. As you can tell, the assembly is pretty dirty, which is probably dirty inside as well. And that's pretty much how you take apart the bolt carrier group. Now we get into the nitty gritty. I'm going to take apart the assembly. So there's a small pin that you have to push out, and usually I would use the firing pin to get that part out. Make sure you don't lose this part either. It's kind of hard to get the pin out, as you can only push the firing pin in so far. Once you do get it out, make sure you don't lose it. There we go. It's very small. You can see that, so make sure you don't lose that part. And you will take off this piece. And that's pretty much disassembled. See, it's pretty dirty. All right, so for the cleaning, we're going to use, well, I like to use the Hops 9, the bore cleaner solvent, and also have the Hops 9 gun lube. They do also make the Hops 9 pads if you like the Hops 9 pads. I use another brand there. This called a muzzleloader cleaning patches. I think they're a lot thicker and a lot bigger. Really just depends on what I have on hand. And we haven't gotten to the upper receiver yet, but I use a bore cleaner for the barrel. And it's also Hops 9. All right, so we're gonna take some patches. You probably run through a lot of patches. That's why you have so many sitting around. All right. So I'm gonna take some of this solvent, poke the little hole at the top so not much comes out. You want to wipe every piece down from the small pin to the bolt itself. Give it a little dab. I'm start small and work my way up. Give it a little rub. You may not get every crease and crevice, but you want to do as best as possible to get all the residue off as much as you can. The buildup on gunpowder residue can make your firearm and rifle malfunction if it gets caked up too much. That was the pin. Now we're going to do the retention pin. And you can switch pads with more solvent to make use a clean one for each part. Solvent isn't that expensive, but it's not that cheap either. Save as much as you can. That is done. Yeah. Pretty dirty. We'll just go ahead with another pad and continue on this process. Next is the cam key. Cam key is pretty dirty. Didn't really show you what it looked like before, but you can see it's got some shine to it now. I'm probably going to run back through that on a different pad now, just to be sure that I can get as much off as possible of that cam key. If you're new to guns, definitely take the time to learn about your firearms, how to disassemble, how to put them back together, surely how to clean your rifle. It's very imperative. Everybody has a different way of cleaning, different process. There are so many videos online as to how to clean and find the best one possible. Get a new pad. That wasn't too bad. Moving on to the firing pin. Oh, you can see how dirty that is. See how much comes off with the solvent. And make sure you get every crevice. Like I said, you're gonna run through pads when you're cleaning any gun, depending on how dirty they may be. As many times as you may replace your lubricants and solvent, buy new pads. You can never have too many, but at least if you may misplace them. I usually keep all my stuff in the same area, so it's kind of hard to to misplace, but you never know. You might do some spring cleaning and you may forget where you put them. Look at that. A lot cleaner than before. Get that top part just to be sure. Set that aside. And next will be the assembly. As you can tell, this looks pretty. It may not look dirty because it's all black, but might give a little shine when I'm done with it. Look at that. pretty dirty. A lot of times people run their guns pretty hard, including myself. May not clean them all the time. Just make sure you never forget to not clean your gun. I don't know how high or low the chances are of your gun malfunctioning as to how much you've shot it to not cleaning it, the time in between. Just want to make sure that you, if you ever had to use it, the chance that it malfunctions because it wasn't clean might be likely to none, but you really don't want to take those chances. Just, take the time out of your day to clean it. May take a little minute, but at least you know it's clean and ready to be used if need be. All right. We're all done with the little pieces. Now we'll come to the bolt. I try to get inside as much as possible. And I'll wipe on the outside. You can try to get inside as far as you can. It could be a lot really caked up. So I do use pads for most of this stuff, but I have some Q-tips here as well that you can run through. I haven't ran my bore snake, through there, but could be a possibility that I may do that right now. So let's get some more solvent. We're gonna get on the inside of this as best as possible. On the outside, do a little scrub down. You don't have to use too much solvent. Sometimes, solvent does evaporate over time. However, probably not the best idea to use too much, and it's kind of like so much liquid that it's like dripping whenever you reassemble your firearm. And that's not what you want. You do want to clean thoroughly, and especially when you're re-lubricating it, that you don't want it dripping. Try to get inside where that firing pin is sitting. Ooh, look at that. That is dirty. You're not going to be able to get all the crevices because I can't stick my finger in there. Wondering if my bore snake will work. I haven't tried the bore snake on the bolt carrier group, but we're gonna try it. Now essentially, which, you know, bore snake is for the barrel. You know, you could use a guide rod and brush with pads to, you know, a long enough one that they make for the barrel. But you just simply pulling the bore snake through once, twice, 3, 4 times. There are bristles built in to the bore snake, and you want to, well, at least from what I've seen online, that you have the bristles, of course, first, and then you will apply some solvent right after the bristles. So when you get the breakdown from the bristles, the solvent is also coming through after to break it down, or you could put it before, really your choice. And you'll go through that a few times, and once it's clean to your liking, you'll add some lubricant to close to the end of the bore snake. So once all the gunk is cleaned off, you're now lubricating the inside of your barrel at the end. So let's put some solvent at the front. There we go. Let's try this. All right, we're gonna do 2 passes on this. So our bolt is clean. I'm gonna switch gloves because I don't want to mix the lubricant with the solvent when I'm reapplying all these things back together. What the doctors be like. All right, I'm gonna take the assembly, and we're gonna take, I can't remember the name of this part, but it goes on top. Have the rubber ring. Make sure you're obviously facing it the right way, or it's not gonna be put back together properly. And you're gonna take the small pin, and where that hole is, and push it through. You're gonna hold pressure on this piece that I put back in. I can't remember the name of it. And so you can make sure that the pin gets in properly. And you're gonna push it all the way in so it's flush on both sides. And that is that, right? And what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take some lubricant and we'll put it on a pad. Just a little on pad. It doesn't come out that quick because of the thin needle point. Take a little bit on the pad. I'm gonna wipe all around. All these are moving parts amongst each other, and metal on metal, when it's not lubricated, heats up pretty quick and start binding together, and it can lock up. It's like not having any engine oil and you driving for miles and miles and miles. Once it locks up, it is done for. You have to get a whole new car, or engine at least. You don't want that, especially with your firearms, because firearms are not cheap. There you go, nicely lubed. All right. I'll lube the bolt carrier after I put everything together. So we're going to reinsert this. There we go. You're gonna twist and twist. You can't really tell, and take it back out. So there's obviously two sides to this, and the cam key will only fit in one. You might run into that problem. I ran into that problem all the time, and I try to twist and twist until I find the right spot that it needs to go in. So how you took it out is how you put it exactly how you put it back in. So it just falls right in to the proper hole, and you're going to twist it back 180 degrees. Oop. There we go. So 180 degrees, now it can't come out and it's functioning properly. Now we're going to put the firing pin back inside, just drops in, and your retention pin. Really give it a little force, make sure that fire pin doesn't come back out. That tells you that the retention pin is doing its job. And we're going to put some more lube on the pad and give this bolt carrier group a nice shine, because it's also a moving part inside the rifle. Oop. And the lubricant will evaporate over time. So you don't want to put a crazy amount, and if you do put a crazy amount, just make sure you just wipe it back down. I did forget one part on the bolt carrier group, which is the gas key. So you can take a Q-tip with some solvent and you can run it in the gas key to get that clean. It is dirty, so get that in. Imagine you're getting that good ear itch with the Q-tip. One of the best feelings in the world. You get all it in there. Look at that. Just switch it on the other side. Oop. Get up in there. All right. We'll leave it that way. And that is the disassembly, clean, and reassembly of the bolt carrier group. Now we will move to upper receiver. And as I said, with the bore snake, we already still have some solvent on there. So we're going to run this through, and you could either put it at the top where the bolt carrier group goes through, or you can go through the injection port. I just tend to go through the injection port. Run this through a few times. And we're going to keep going down, and the snake will come out at the end, and you will pull until it's done. Do this about 3 or 4 times. Oop, there we go. We'll do 3. So you can inspect the barrel from the bolt carrier side, regardless of the gun being broken down. Never get in the habit of aiming the business end at your face, trying to check. Aim at a light, look through, looks clean to me from all the gunk. Now we will add some lubricant at the end of the bore snake on both sides. Nothing, not too much. Everything will catch and it will be looped up. And we'll do, because we did 3 passes with the solvent, we'll do 3 passes with the lubrication. And that is how you clean the barrel. So staying on the upper receiver, you have the areas where your bolt carrier group sits, and of course, you know, these inside ports where the bolt carrier group rubs. You want to wipe all that down with solvent. Excuse me. Do as best as you can with this area. You know, you can't really get to all the spots. Just as dirty as the bolt carrier was, it's surely dirty in this area, obviously, because that's where the rounds go and all that gunpowder and gas is shooting back through here. So you want to make sure you clean all that as well. Every place where there's a moving part, you want to do your best at getting it cleaned. All right. So what I'm going to do before I do a light lubricant, take a clean pad and just kind of run back through where I added the solvent on these areas. Just going to clean some of it off. All right. If you want to, there's a where the barrel ties into the upper receiver. You can take, it's like a star shape. You won't get every groove, but if you want to take some solvent, you can stick your finger right there and try to clean around. You know, the bore snake doesn't really get around that area, so do your best to clean that out as well. All right, we're gonna take a clean pad or pads. We're gonna add some lubricant to it and give the inside of where our bolt carrier sits a light coating, because we've already coated the bolt carrier. So all right, now that is upper receiver's done and the bolt is done. So next, to reassemble the upper receiver with the bolt carrier, Sometimes it gets tricky for me. I tend to put the charging handle back in first, get it in the proper space, and you make sure your bolt carrier group is facing the proper way. When you do reassemble, there you go. We're gonna take the lower receiver. Not too much gunk down here, but if you want to clean out the mag well with some bore cleaner, want to clean off the, don't know this part of the trigger, but I know it hits the firing pin for you to fire your rounds. You can clean those off, but we're not going to today. So I'm gonna reassemble, get that lined up with the first takedown pin. There we go. And we're gonna assemble that one. Get the bolt back. Lock your bolt back. And you are all done cleaning your rifle. Hopefully this video helps one person that can help the next. Till then, see you guys later.